Yeah, yeah. What is up, Benji? How we going, mate? Thought I'd go live for a little bit beforehand and just chat if anybody wanted to join. Have a quick chat, you know. How are you, Benji? That's good to hear. You've been busy today, I hope? Well, not I hope. Have you been busy today? Wait, I realize you can't even hear the sound. Damn. You also weirded me out there. Your name color, your name changed for some reason. How was work there? Long day. Long day for me, but I'm home. I came home and then I edited a video and posted it to the Tube, the Red app. Oh. And now I'm live streaming a chapter of Harry Potter. So, oh, nice. That's good. I only did 5 today. What are your plans for tomorrow, Benji? Still work, I assume? I don't have work until the Arvo tomorrow, which is nice. Harry Potter reading indeed. Hi, Sosa. Sosa, I've been wanting to ask, do you have that an issue? So you know how I was playing Valorant earlier in stream, and I was getting that like freeze. It was like stuttering. Caleb and I just played a game. Oh, without. I want banana bread. Make sure. Now you make me up. Now you make me hungry. But so you know how I was getting that frame lag in Valorant? I thought it was because my computer was overdoing itself. But Caleb and I just tried to play a game together, and both of us had that stupid freezing issue, and we couldn't figure out why. What sort of banana bread are you making, Sosa? Just regular, or? What, Rowan? Well, you're in Austria right now, Rowan? How's Austria? Oh, that sounds so good, Sosa. Frick. Well, we just have it all the time. Don't know why. How has your holidays been? I've also, Rowan, I've been really enjoying your posts on Instagram. They're very cool. Look like you're having a great time. Full screen. Okay, I'll have a look. Yeah, that's the annoying thing about being Australians with Europe is gorgeous. Everything about Europe is amazing, but it's so freaking expensive because our dollar sucks. By the way, Rowan, you missed it. I had two lots of people gift subs on stream, so I had to shake it for like a minute straight at one point, almost. No, well, Rowan, if it makes you feel any better, 2 weeks from now, and hi, Harry Styles, Pinky Toe. How are you? No, I don't want to. I didn't say anything. Rowan, if it makes you feel any better, 2 weeks from now, I'm on my way to Bali. Actually, let me check. Let me check exactly. 2 weeks and 2 days, and I'm on my way to Bali. I didn't say anything, Benji. How are you, Pinky Toes? Look at you, Pinky. That's easier. Also, guys, for those who are interested, I have just posted a video on the U of that app. It's got no views, but it's like it's just a little 20-minute video of Caleb and I playing RV there yet. It's pretty fun. Yeah, Europe's amazing. I love Europe. But hey, I gotta go grab this book. Oh. I'm good, thank you. Busy day. I was saying, so I streamed in the morning, and then I went to work. I made a TikTok while I was at work. Of that, I made a crossbar challenge. I did a crossbar challenge while I was at work, which is pretty fun. And then I got home from work and I edited a video down. I edited a stream down. I wanted it to be between 20 and 30 minutes, and I edited it down to 22 minutes. And I posted that onto the Red app. Heck yeah, it is. You saw it? Pretty cool. The thing is, you know what the cool thing is? My client, he loves the idea. He loves the idea of me filming TikToks when I'm there. He doesn't even want to be in them. He just likes being around somebody who's filming TikToks. He loves it. Plus, he was actually taking shots too while we were there. So we were racing to see who hit the crossbar first. I have been busy. There is a soccer goal down the road from my house. I might go film another soccer video. Crossbar challenge. I might go film another soccer video tomorrow after I finish stream before I go to work. And then my client on Thursday afternoons, we usually go to the skate park. So maybe I'll either take my scooter or my skateboard and maybe make a TikTok video of me at the skate park as well, because why not? Yeah, busy. I've been meaning. So, if you're listening, I'm thinking, right, I want to keep going on Metro Exodus. This is a horror game I was playing a while ago, and don't ask me how I ended up stopping. I was actually really enjoying this game. There's an enhanced edition? Okay, I could start again because I just realized there's an enhanced edition that I haven't been playing on. I've been playing on the regular edition when there's an enhanced one. We want to go enhanced Wifey Anna. Ooh, this Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition, hear me out. Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition has ray tracing. Whoa, it looks so much better. Holy. Guys, look how much better Anna looks. Okay, we're locking back in. I'm sorry to all those who are enjoying Skyrim. That game pees me off. We're locking back into Metro Exodus. Surely I cuddle with Anna in 4K. Have fun swimming, Rowan. I look forward to seeing it on your Instagram. What, Benji? Bye, Rowan. Okay, quickly before I go live, I wanted to show you a song that's been stuck in my head for a while. I'll show you something that's been stuck in my head. No, before I read. Sorry, Sosa, I'm sorry. You know what, Sosa? I'm sorry I'm not perfect, okay? I'm sorry I'm not perfect. Here we go, this one. Listen. Just listen. Just listen. This version specifically. I don't know why. I think it's because I have it's Anna is perfect. I love that name, Gia. That's awesome. How are you, Gia? But I think, hear me out. I think what I'm gonna say is I always say how I never really listen to music, and music doesn't do anything to me. But I've been listening to a lot more music recently because I'm streaming, and I'm always listening to music when I'm streaming. So now, like this song, no, that song's amazing. But this song makes me so emotional. I don't know why. Wait for it. Just wait for it. That song is actually fire though, Pinky. That song is fire. Hey, so there's somebody spamming something in the TikTok chat. Here's how I might be able to fix it. Got it. I realized no, so I got it. I realized that that idiot has joined my live multiple times now. So I noticed you muted him, Sosa, but I just went through and I went through and blocked him. So he's banned from my lives forever now. Because it's just a bot. It's a bot that some trolls programmed. Sosa's a legend, guys. If in doubt, Sosa will fix it. What is this? No, it's this one. Oh, this is gonna make me lose it, guys. Damn. Just forget the world. How long is the chapter tonight? You know where you are. Hey guys, who's excited? I just want to show you the choir version of Let It Down. Let Down, because it was phenomenal. Who's excited for chapter 11 of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire? I am. Hi, Pale. Who's excited? Thank you for the heart, me, Pale. Very much appreciated. We're locking in, guys. Sosa's making banana bread for us all, and it'll be ready when I finish reading. I'm good, thank you. I'm just about to start reading. Also, Sosa, I just clocked it. It's what? It's like what? 7 p.m. for you, and you're making banana bread at 7 p.m. What a weapon! That's crazy. Thank you for the likes, Lane. Yeah, here we go. Water. Again, shout out Rowan for buying me this water bottle. Good evening, Brie. Starting reading. That's so fair. Cinnamon? You put, wait, is cinnamon in banana bread? Yeah. Okay, hear me out before I keep going. Pre-workout snack I've recently come across thanks to TikTok is rice crackers, rice cake, Greek yogurt, banana, cinnamon, honey. So fair. Also, I love that emote. Chocolate? Never tried those, Brio. How are you, Gio? Alright, hype train conductor. Whoop, whoop. Wait a minute. That means you made me do it. That means you made me throw it back. I remember now. Wait a minute. Also, shout out. Shout out Corellia. Gorgeous Pokemon. Hey guys. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Chapter 11, Aboard the Hogwarts Express. There was the definite end of the holidays gloom in the air. Aye. You just got here in time for the Harry Potter reading if you want to stick around. Heavy rain was still splattering against the window as he got dressed in jeans and a sweatshirt. They would change into their school robes on the Hogwarts Express. He, Ron, Fred, and George had just reached the first floor landing on their way down to breakfast when Mrs. Weasley appeared on the foot of the stairs, looking harassed. Arthur! She pulled up the staircase. Arthur! Urgent emergency from the Ministry! Harry flattened himself against the wall as Mr. Weasley came clattering past with his robes on back to front and hurtled out of sight. When Harry and the others entered the kitchen, they saw Mrs. Weasley rummaging anxiously in the dressing drawer. I've got a quill here somewhere. And Mr. Weasley bending over the fire, talking to Harry. Shut his eyes hard and opened them again to make sure they were working properly. Amos Diggory's head was sitting in the middle of the flames like a large bearded egg. It was talking very fast, completely unperturbed by the sparks flying around it and the flames licking its ear. Muggle neighbors heard bangs and shouting. So they went and called those, what do you call them, policemen? Arthur, you've got to get over here. Here, said Mrs. Weasley breathlessly, pushing a piece of parchment and a bottle of ink and crumpled quill into Mr. Weasley's hand. It's a real stroke of luck I heard about it, said Mr. Weasley. Mr. Diggory, I had to come into the office early to get a couple of hours, and I've found the improper use of magic's lot of setting off if Rita Skeeter gets a hold of this one, Arthur. Hi, Quincy, how are you? What does Mad Eye say happened? Said Mr. Weasley, unscrewing the ink bottle, looking it up his quill and preparing to take notes. Mr. Diggory's eyes rolled into his head. Says he's heard an intruder in his yard. Said they're creeping towards the house, but they were ambushed. by the dustbins. Hello, Jenna. I'm reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I'm doing good, thank you. What did the dustbins do? Said Mr. Weasley, scribbling phonetically. Made one hell of a noise and fired rubbish everywhere, as I can tell, said Mr. Diggory. Apparently, one of them was rocketing around when the policemen showed up. Mr. Weasley groaned. And what about the intruder? Arthur, you know Mad Eye, said Mr. Diggory's head rolling in its eyes again. Someone creeping into his yard at the dead of night. More likely there's a very shell-shocked cat wandering around somewhere covered in potato peelings. But if the improper use of magic lot get their hands on Mad Eye, he's had it. Think of his record. We've got to get him off on a minor charge. Something in your department. What's an exploding dustbin's worth? Might be worth a caution, said Mr. Weasley, still writing very fast, his brow furrowed. Mad Eye didn't use his wand? He didn't actually attack anyone. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like the live. I have my links, socials in my bio, so you can find me, more of me as well, if you'd like. I'll bet he leapt out of bed and started jinxing everything he could within reach from the window, said Mr. Diggory. But they'll have a job proving it. There aren't any casualties. All right, I'm off, said Mr. Weasley, and he stuffed the parchment and his notes into his pocket and dashed out of the kitchen again. Mr. Diggory looked around at Mrs. Weasley. Sorry about this, Molly, said more calmly. Bothering you so early and everything, but Arthur's the only one who can get Mad Eye off, and Mad Eye is supposed to be starting his new job today. Why he had to choose last night. Never mind, Amos, said Mrs. Weasley. Sure you don't have a bit of toast or anything before you go? Oh, go on then, said Mr. Diggory. Mrs. Weasley took a piece of buttered toast from a stack on the kitchen table, put it in the fire tongs, and transferred it into Mr. Diggory's mouth. Thanks, he said in a muffled voice, and then, with a small pop, vanished. Harry could still hear Mr. Weasley hurriedly goodbyes to Bill, Charlie, Percy, and the girls. Within 5 minutes, he was back in the kitchen, his robes on the right way, dragging a comb through his hair. I'd better hurry. You have a good term, boys, said Mr. Weasley to Harry, Ron, and the twins, dragging a cloak over his shoulders and preparing to disapparate. Molly, are you going to be all right taking the kids up to King's Cross? Thank you, Jenna. I'm Australian. Of course I will, she said. Just look after Mad Eye. We'll be fine. As Mr. Weasley vanished, Bill and Charlie entered the kitchen. Did someone say Mad Eye? Said Bill. What's he been up to now? He says someone tried to break into his house last night, said Mrs. Weasley. Mad Eye Moody, said George thoughtfully, spreading marmalade in his toast. Isn't he that nutter? Your father thinks very highly of Mad Eye Moody. Your father thinks very highly of Mad Eye Moody, said Mrs. Weasley sternly. Yeah, well, Dad collects plugs, doesn't he? Said Fred quietly, as Mrs. Weasley left the room. Birds of a feather. Moody was a great wizard in his time, said Bill. He's an old friend of Dumbledore's, isn't he? Said Charlie. Dumbledore's not what you call normal, though, is he? Said Fred. I mean, I know he's a genius and everything. Who's Mad Eye? Said Harry. He's retired. Used to work at the ministry, said Charlie. I met him once with Dad, took me to work with him. He was one of the best. A dark wizard catcher, he added. You should watch them, they're great. Thank you for that, cats, Quincy. Yeah, seeing Harry's blank look. Half the cells in Azkaban are filled because of him. He made himself loads of enemies, though. The families of people he caught, mainly. And I heard he's been really getting paranoid in his old age. Doesn't trust anyone anymore. Sees dark wizards everywhere. Thank you for the heart me, Arden. Hi, Noah. Nice to see you. Bill and Charlie decided to come and see everyone off at King's Cross Station, but Percy apologized most profusely, said he really needed to get to work. I just can't justify taking more time off at the moment, he said. Mr. Crouch is really starting to rely on me. Yeah, you know what, Percy, said George seriously. I reckon he'll get to know your name soon. Mrs. Weasley had braved the telephone and the village post office to order 3 ordinary muggle taxis to take them to London. Arthur tried to borrow the ministry cars for us, said Mrs. Weasley, whispering to Harry as they stood in the rain-washed yard, watching the taxi drivers heaving six heavy Hogwarts trunks into their cars. But they weren't any despair. Oh dear, they don't look happy, do they? Harry didn't like to tell Mrs. Weasley that Muggle taxi drivers rarely transported overexcited owls, and Pidwidgeon was making an ear-splitting racket. Nor did it help that a number of filibusters. Thank you for the follow, Jenna and Quincy, by the way. Thank you so much. That a number of Dr. Filibuster's fabulous wet start, no heat fireworks went off unexpectedly and Fred's trunk sprang open, causing the driver to start yelling with fright and pain as Crookshanks clawed his way up the man's leg. The journey was uncomfortable, owing to the fact that they were jammed in the back of the taxis with their trunks. Crookshanks took quite a while to recover from the fireworks, and by the time they entered London, Harry, Ron, and Hermione were all severely scratched. They were all very relieved to get out of King's Cross Station, even though the rain was coming down harder than ever, and they got soaked carrying their trunks across the busy road and into the station. Harry was used to getting in onto the platform 9 3/4 by now. It was as simple as walking straight through the apparently solid barrier dividing platforms 9 and 10. The only tricky part was doing this in an unobtrusive way, so as to not avoid attracting Muggle attention. They did it in groups. Harry, Ron, and Hermione, the most conspicuous as they were accompanied by Pidwidgeon and Crookshanks, went first. They leant casually against the barrier, chatting unconcernedly, and slid sideways through it. As they did so, platform 9 3/4 materialized in front of them. The Hogwarts Express, a gleaming scarlet steam engine, was already there, clouds of steam billowing from it, through which the many Hogwarts students and parents on the platform alike appeared like ghosts. Pidwidgeon became noisier than ever in response to the hooting of many owls through the mist. Harry, Ron, and Hermione set off to find seats and were soon stowing their luggage in a compartment halfway along the train. Then hopped back down onto the platform to say goodbye to Mrs. Weasley, Bill, and Charlie. "I might be seeing you all sooner than you think," said Charlie, grinning as he hugged Ginny goodbye. "Why?" said Fred keenly. "You'll see," said Charlie. "Just don't tell Percy I mentioned it. It's classified information. Until such time as the Ministry sees fit to release it, after all." "Yeah, I sort of wish I was back at Hogwarts this year," said Bill, hands in his pockets, looking almost wistfully at the train. "Why?" said George impatiently. "You're going to have an interesting year," said Bill, his eyes twinkling. "I might even get time to come off and watch it for a bit." "Bit of what?" said Ron. But at that moment, the whistle blew and Mrs. Weasley chivied them towards the train doors. "Thanks for having us to stay, Mrs. Weasley," said Hermione, as they climbed on board, closing the doors and leaned out the windows to talk to her. "Yeah, thanks for everything, Mrs. Weasley," said Harry. "Oh, it's my pleasure, dears," said Mrs. Weasley. "I'd invite you for Christmas, but, well, I expect you're all going to want to stay at Hogwarts with that one thing and another. Hi, Alyssa, how are you?" "Mom," said Ron irritably. "What do you three know that we don't?" Thank you for the follow, Alyssa. "You'll find out this evening, I expect," said Mrs. Weasley, smiling. "It's got to be very exciting, mind you. I'm very glad they've changed the rules." "What rules?" said Harry, Ron, Fred, and George together. "I'm sure Professor Dumbledore will tell you. Now, behave, won't you? Won't you, Fred? And you, George?" "I'm doing great, thank you. Just reading Harry Potter right now." The pistons hissed loudly and the train began to move. I hope you had a good day. "Tell us what's happening at Hogwarts!" Fred bellowed out of the window as Mrs. Weasley, Bill, and Charlie sped away from them. "What rules are changing?" But Mrs. Weasley only smiled and waved before the train had rounded the corner. She, Bill, and Charlie had disapparated. Harry, Ron, and Hermione went back to their compartment. Thick rain splattered the window, making it very difficult to see out of them. Ron undid his trunk, pulled out his maroon dress robes, and flung them over Pidwidgeon's cage to muffle his hooting. It's great. I read it every evening, Alyssa. So I'm from Australia, and I read it every evening. We're up to the Goblet of Fire right now. "Bagman wanted to tell us what's happening at Hogwarts," he said grumpily, sitting down next to Harry. "At the World Cup, remember? But my own mother won't say. Wonder what..." "Shh!" Hermione whispered suddenly, pressing her fingers to her lips and pointing towards the compartment next to theirs. Harry and Ron listened and heard a familiar drawling voice drifting through the open door. Father actually considered sending me to Durmstrang rather than Hogwarts, you know. He knows the headmasters, you see. Well, you know his opinion of Dumbledore. The man's such a mudblood lover, and Durmstrang doesn't admit that sort of riffraff. But Mother didn't like the idea of me going to school so far away. Father says Durmstrang takes a far more sensible line than Hogwarts about the dark arts. Durmstrang students actually learn them, not just defense as we do. Hermione got up, tiptoed to the compartment door, and slid it shut, blocking out Malfoy's voice. So, he thinks Durmstrang's would have suited him, does he? She said angrily. I wish he had gone. Then we wouldn't have to put up with him. Durmstrang's another wizarding school? Said Harry. Yes, said Hermione sniffily. And it's got a horrible reputation. According to an appraisal of magical education in Europe, it puts a lot of emphasis on the dark arts. I think I've heard of it, said Ron vaguely. Where is it? What country? Well, nobody knows, do they? Said Harry, raising her eyebrows. Why not? There's traditionally been a lot of rivalry between all magic schools. Durmstrang and Box Batons like to conceal their whereabouts so nobody can steal their secrets, said Hermione matter-of-factly. Come off it, said Ron, starting to laugh. Durmstrang's got to be about the same size as Hogwarts. How are you going to hide a dirty great castle? But Hogwarts is hidden, said Hermione in surprise. Everyone knows that. Well, everyone who's read Hogwarts a history anyway. Just you then, said Ron. So go on, how'd you hide a place like Hogwarts? It's bewitched, said Hermione. If a muggle looks at it, all they'll see is a mouldering on ruin with a sign over the entrance saying, Danger, do not enter, unsafe. So, Durmstrang will look like a ruin to outsiders too? Maybe, said Hermione shrugging. Or it might have muggle-repelling charms on it, like the World Cup Stadium did. And to keep foreign wizards finding it, they'll have an unplottable... Come again? Thank you for the share, Smiley. Well, you can enchant a building so it's impossible to plot it on a map, can't you? If you say so, said Harry. But I think Durmstrang must be somewhere in the far north, said Hermione, steamy that the lanterns were lit by midday. The lunch trolley came rattling along the corridor, and Harry bought a large stack of cauldron cakes for them to share. Several of their friends looked in on them as the afternoon progressed, including Seamus Finnegan, Dean Thomas, and Neville Longbottom, a round-faced, extremely forgetful boy who had been brought up by his formidable witch of a grandmother. Seamus was still wearing his Ireland rosé. Some of its magic seemed to be wearing off now. It was still squeaking, Jory, Mullet, Moran! But in a very feeble and exhausted sort of way. After half an hour or so, Hermione, growing tired of the endless Quidditch torch, buried herself once more in the Standard Book of Spells, Grade 4, and started trying to learn a summoning charm. Neville listened jealously to the others' conversation as they relived the cup match. Gran didn't want to go, he said miserably. Wouldn't buy tickets. It sounded amazing, though. It was, said Ron. Look at this, Neville. He rummaged into his trunk up in the luggage rack and pulled out a miniature figure of Victor Crumb. Oh, wow, said Neville enviously, as Ron tipped Crumb into his pudgy hands. We got to see him close up as well, said Ron. We were in the top box. For the first and last time in your life, Weasley. Draco Malfoy had appeared in the doorway. Behind him stood Crabbe and Goyle, his enormous thuggish cronies, both of whom appeared to have grown at least a foot during the summer. Evidently, they had overheard the conversation through the compartment door, which Dean and Seamus had left ajar. Don't remember asking you to join us, Malfoy, said Harry coolly. Weasley, what is that? Said Malfoy, pointing at Pidwidgeon's cage. A sleeve of Ron's dress robes was dangling from it, swaying from the motion of the train, the mouldy lace cuff very obvious. Ron made to stuff the robes out of sight, but Malfoy was too quick for him. He seized the sleeve and pulled. Look at this, said Malfoy in ecstasy, holding up Ron's robes and shoving Crabbe and Goyle. Weasley, you weren't thinking of wearing these, weren't you? I mean, they were very fashionable in about the 1890s. Eat slugs, Malfoy, said Ron, the same color as the dress robes as he snatched them back out of Malfoy's grip. Malfoy howled with derisive laughter. Crabbe and Goyle guffawed stupidly. So, Are you going to enter Weasley? Going to try and bring a bit of glory to the family name? There's money involved as well, you know. You'd be able to afford some decent robes if you won. What are you talking about? Ron snapped. Aren't you going to enter? Said Malfoy. I suppose you will, Potter. Never miss a chance to show off, do you? Either explain what you're on about or go away, Malfoy, said Hermione testily over the top of the standard book of spells grade 4. A gleeful smile spread across Malfoy's pale face. Don't tell me you don't know, he said delightfully. You've got a father and a brother at the Ministry and you don't even know? My God, my father told me about it ages ago. Heard it from Cornelius Fudge. But then father was associated with the top people at the Ministry. Maybe your father's too junior to know about it. Weasley, yes. They probably don't talk about the important stuff in front of him. Laughing once more, Malfoy beckoned to Crabbe and Goyle and the three of them disappeared. Thank you, Jenna. Have a great night. Bye, Quincy. See you guys later. Ron got to his feet and slammed the sliding compartment door closed so hard that the glass shattered. Ron! Hermione said reproachfully, and she pulled out her wand and muttered, Reparo. Thank you, Quincy. And the glass shards flew back into a single pane and back in the door. Well, making it look like he knows everything and we don't, Ron snarled. Father's always associated with the top people at the Ministry. Dad could have gotten a promotion anytime. He just likes it where he is. Of course he does, said Hermione. Don't let Malfoy get to you, Ron. Him? Get to me? As if, said Ron, picking up one of the amazing cauldron cakes and squashing it into a pulp. Ron's bad mood continued for the rest of the journey. He didn't talk as much as they changed into their school robes and was still glowering when the Hogwarts Express slowed down at last and finally stopped in the pitch darkness of Hogsmeade Station. As the train doors opened, there was a rumble of thunder overhead. Hermione bundled Crookshanks up in her cloak, and Ron left his robes over Pidwidgeon as they left the train. Heads bent and eyes narrowed against the downpour. The rain was coming down now so thick and fast it was as though buckets of ice-cold water were being emptied repeatedly over their heads. Hi, Hagrid! Harry yelled, seeing a gigantic silhouette as far at the end of the platform. All right, Harry, Hagrid bellowed back, waving. See you at the feast if we don't drown. First years traditionally reached Hogwarts by sailing across the lake with Hagrid. Oh, I wouldn't fancy crossing the lake in this weather, said Hermione fervently, shivering as they inched slowly across the dark platform with the rest of the crowd. 100 horseless carriages stood waiting for them outside the station. Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Neville climbed gratefully onto one of them and shut the door with a snap. And a few moments later, with a great lurch, the long procession of carriages was rumbling and splashing its way up the track towards Hogwarts Castle. What? That was a good chapter. Does anybody know what this special event is at Hogwarts this year? You know, guys, anybody there? If Mum didn't work from home, I would be able to do an IRL stream tomorrow because I don't work to the afternoon. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, Mum's office is directly next to the kitchen, so it's like sort of in the middle of everything. So I don't have any space to do an IRL stream tomorrow. Unfortunately. Okay, guys. I am gonna end the live here. I'm gonna go to bed because I'm very tired. Don't worry. Coffee has been sorted for tomorrow morning, so I'm not gonna be fuming in the morning. Don't stress, guys. It's fine. Figure it out. But I do need to sleep. Eh, I'm gonna end the live. I hope you all have a fabulous night. If anybody's even there. I'm gonna end the live in a 3, a 2, a 1.